here. What's up? We're back with some more Roottrees. And we kind of left off right before it got good. So, we're going to talk about where we left off in 1 second. Let me get everything adjusted. TiCup's tea, thank you for being here. Okay, everything. Alright. But welcome back. We were playing, last time we streamed, we were playing Roottrees Are Dead. This is a, for those of you who don't know, this is a, what can you kind of call it, a point and click, almost like a, would you call this like a logic puzzle as well? But like kind of like a mystery solving type of thing. It kind of reminds me of a lot of different things. And I heard something about it might be inspired by Obra Dinn and like at least like the system of getting multiple things right. And we really liked Obra Dinn. Obra Dinn was a really good playthrough that we did. But yeah, let's hop back into it. We could kind of explain a little bit more about the game and like what we've been up to because we got a little bit far. Where are we? We got 33 out of 49 people. So we are in the home stretch. And the reason I said the last 3 Roottrees is because I would have picked somebody's name that we don't know. We don't know this person. So if we were to type in Roottree, at least the names that we have 3 Roottrees that we don't know who they are. The other people we know who they are, but we don't exactly know who these people are or have these people confirmed. But I do know for a fact that Gwendolyn, Elias, and Margolite are in the right places. I just don't have the correct occupation for those people. So that's exactly what we got going on. We do have a lot of names that we don't have. Obviously, we have quite a few names left to go. And then also, we got a note from, well, not a note, we got a visit from this Roottree. This lady, she actually revealed that she was a Roottree. And she didn't exactly expose why she wanted us to solve this, but she said she would explain why after, you know, her story comes out. So all she needs me is basically to finish the family tree. Well, what else did we say? Yep. Okay. So for the most part, it doesn't say right now, right here, it doesn't say that I have to do 4, but she did mention from now on I have to get 4 right. So yes, now the rules are changed. Every time you get 4 additional blood relatives in the family tree completely correct, name, occupation, and portrait, they will be locked in. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in a tree helps remove extra names and photos. So we do have a couple different names that we have here left over. I almost wish that the names got crossed out as we revealed them, almost, if you will. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, we got all the notable ones. Could we just scroll the name list? It is a very short name list if you're thinking about it. So we got a whole bunch of Wilsons. We don't know what they look like, but we know, you know, they belong here. We actually use process of elimination to figure that out because we figured out that there were 3 Wilsons. I think we already solved this. We already solved this. We already solved this main, like, couple. We also solved these 2 last time. Or at least this guy. I think we might have solved her before. But yes. What was that noise? Did I click something? Or was that just... I don't know. It sounded like something got erased or something. But yes. We have to get 4 things right this time. So, extra pressure, extra things we have to get right, and extra research we have to do. So what's been helping me so far, besides like maybe like the 1 or 2, you know, maybe, okay, let's be real, maybe like 5 hints in total, maybe like 1 or so, maybe 1.5 to 2 per episode if we count all episodes, kind of just directed me to just look at everything more. So that's what I learned last time. After taking those 2 hints, I don't know how many hints, let me not lie. Or let me not say a number because I'm going to get caught up. Essentially, I'm going to take a peek at every single piece of evidence that we have here. All of these things that we have here, I'm going to look at And if something doesn't look right, if something leads me in a direction, it will. But I think with the lesson I learned from last episode or last stream, if you will, I learned that we need to pay close attention. I have not been paying close attention. I've been slacking off. So maybe we could even go by the things we have the most. I will say that looking at this evidence list, like, we are looking pretty good. Like, nothing on this list has more than 4 clues that we have to get from it. Now, this is kind of like the first thing I would look at, I guess. But I kind of feel like maybe it could be older things in here that could make sense. So, like, this one has something to do with Carl, right? So, who do we not have around Carl? We have everybody around Carl, right? But maybe we don't have somebody confirmed, like a brother or an uncle or something like that. But yeah, I guess we'll read it real quick to see what we got going on. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987, and he is on the cover. Business Watches that magazine for and about corporate leaders, and has ongoing coverage of who's in the corporate world. Did we look up this magazine? I think we did. We have it? Yeah. Okay, so we might have to revisit that. That's also probably what we're going to do. We're going to just try to be thorough in the evidence that we have and maybe work our way up the tree. And if we have trouble with the stuff at the bottom, maybe best case scenario, working our top down won't be bad either. Being that we might be able to find multitude of evidence or clues or whatever. Okay. Carl was not chosen for his work, but rather his company Root. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. So that doesn't matter to me, for real, because Brenda, we don't need her occupation. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrees. So we have Jim, correct? Or James Roottrees. A notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Word spread. And the young daughter would be Candy. Makes sense. By 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr. And then, second cousin, right? Second cousins share the same great grandparents, whereas third cousins don't. We will verify, because I would like to think I know, but nothing is ever for certain, right? They share the same great grandparents, but not the same grandparents. Great. So they don't share. Yeah, perfect. That's actually, I'm pretty sure this is where Ernest Jr. is. We kind of know the occupation, but we also don't know who he is, if if that makes sense. Who had just become president of Roottrees at the time, spearheaded Root. Other blood relatives who have say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than Candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance bankroll on the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. That's kind of crazy to think about, though. I see why Carl is like, F that, They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the Candy Company, and they all benefit. That's kind of wild, though, because we do know something fishy is going on, and to think that like his business almost like literally just got absorbed by the Roottrees Candy Company, just like the mechanic place, Roottrees Motors, got absorbed by Roottrees Candy Company. Interesting that a lot of businesses either get somehow connected or absorbed into this company. That's kind of interesting. I guess you can't get to the top without taking advantage, huh? I mean, some of these people got married and it made sense, but also kind of interesting that the family was being kind of sus, and then they all of a sudden they absorbed essentially his company. I'm not saying they get all his money. I'm sure he owns most of it, but you know what I mean. Somehow they all benefit from his company, and now this guy is dead. So that you can't tell me that's not fishy. Interesting. I don't know if I got anything from that, other than like the couple people. I think maybe once I saw Ernie's Jr., that would be somebody that I feel like we don't have that they talked about. But let's keep reading. Per tradition, perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became their first catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. He was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and ensuing payoff. So, what I want to do real quick is we do have something that is connected to that same clue. Would be Ernest Jr., his second cousin, right? Second cousin, around the same age, maybe teenager. Maybe, what if, hold on, who is this? So that's Clark. Never mind. Oh, I like that. That's kind of cool. We could change it. I don't even know why. I mean, it could make sense later on, but I think we know. Okay, so who do we not have in this picture? We don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names. But I'm almost 100% certain that this is Bonnie. We just don't have Bonnie's occupation. Wait. We do have Bonnie's occupation. We just don't have it in here as this set as her. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is right because they literally... I mean, it could be somebody else, but literally, like, look at the tint of their hair. They talked about their hair. They got the exact same shade of hair. And they look a little different than everybody else. So, that being said, I can, for the most part, look at these 4 pictures or these 4 names. So, who do I not have? So, we need Ernie Jr. I don't want to copy that whole thing. Actually, kind of want to start over. Okay. Please. Highlight. We got Guy. We got Bonnie. Do we have Carolyn? I think we do. We solved Carolyn. Just to verify, yep, we solved Carolyn. And we have Gwendolyn. So we're good. We don't have Gwyneth M., which I'm pretty sure is the youngest girl on this photo. Who else do we not have? We don't know. We don't know who Jim is in this picture. But I almost want to say that Jim could be this guy. Because this guy looks a little older, if I'm not mistaken, right? And it's one more name, right? We got 3 names. Wait, 2 names? Hold on. We're not paying attention. So we don't have Jim in this picture. Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Eli M. I believe Eli M is this guy. Yep. Clark. We got Clark in the photo. We don't have Jim in the photo. Who else? We have Carl. Confusion. You know what? I think this might help, right? So we're missing one more name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Miracle Jr. We have the photo of Miracle Jr. There's no additional. Oh no, we do have the picture of Miracle Jr. in here. Okay. Who has additional pictures? So we have a picture of Roottrees. It's probably right in front of me. So we know this is Guy. We know this is Bonnie. We know this is Eli. This is Miracle Jr. This is Carolyn and her sister. I don't want to say Gwendolyn, but Gwen something. Yeah, Gwendolyn. It's not Gwyneth. Miracle Jr., Carl, Clark, Eli, Miracle Jr., Gwendolyn, Carolyn. God, Bonnie. What? Am I? We do have Gwendolyn. Who do I? Am I? Okay. So this is Carl. And Eli M is right here. And we have Clark, correct? Yes, we do have Clark. Gosh, I'm just clicking on random shit. And then we don't have Jim, so for the most part, these three names we can ignore. Miracle Jr. we have. Gwendolyn we have. Carolyn we have. And we have Guy Hudson. Who is this guy in the back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, no. 1. It's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look! He's added the same thing on this part. I was like, what the fuck? What am I missing? Hello? Okay. Now we know something's fishy here. This old ass guy is probably the outlier to me, because they all are like teenagers, whereas this guy, he got smile lines. He got like, you know what I'm saying? He got them wrinkles near his eyes. Look at this youth. And then look at him. That's fucked up. But yes. Okay. This photo is a note attached from your employer. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo in childish print writing, it says November. Who is that guy from an employer? This could either mean the lady that dropped off the photos employer, or the employer of somebody that worked in Carl's office. Okay, that being said, then there's truly like 3 names that we need to figure out off of this photo. We need 2 guys and a girl. We also know the other girl is Bonnie. We could pretty I want to lock this in so I don't get anything else wrong. I'm not gonna change that. So what did I say? 2 guys and a girl. Arnie Jr., Gwyneth M., and Jim Roottree. Wait, what? Two guys and one of these girls? Perhaps? And maybe the little girl might not have a signature, whereas somebody else has one. So let me see. One of these guys is Jim, and one of these guys is Ernie. And I kind of want to say... if Clark and Jim were truly around the same age, that would incline me to believe that this, which we set this here before, would be Jim or James, whatever the fuck. And then this would be Ernie Jr. Maybe? This kind of looked like it would be his dad, maybe. I don't know. Because, like, I guess he could be that much older than... You never know, shit. But that didn't set anything right. Why do I think he's old? I don't know. Shit, who else am I supposed to... Shit. I want to get Bonnie's second picture confirmed. Once we get Bonnie's second picture confirmed, it'll make it a lot easier for me. So Gwyneth M could be... What is Gwyneth M? Gwyneth Madsen. So if we going back to Madsen, whose last name is Madsen? All the way over here. And then who? Why did I forget that fast? Gwyneth M. He could be standing next to his daughter. What's interesting to me is that so far the hair color has been like something I've been matching along. So like in the same sense, like the same similar brown hair color makes sense here. This picture is very confusing, I would say. I feel like I'm on the verge of finding something out, but having an extra name here just confuses me that much more. We probably could find Guy Hudson's spouse, right? We got to. How many more names do we even have? We don't have that much more names that are not taken. Kim LaRoe. April Quadrich? Okay. The crazy part is that we're like, I feel so right here. What's the extra name? Shit, I don't know. Carl's office. Carl's office. That's... One of these guys has to be Ernie Jr. and one of these guys has to be Jim. I don't have these two people here. But then if these two guys are gone, then we have Bonnie, and then somebody's Gwyneth. And then when was this? This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. So Carl and everybody were grown. They're not grown, but they were like teenagers, kind of. They were all around the similar ages. Some of them were grown and had jobs, but some of them okay. So that wouldn't lead her from being out of it. I feel like the question is, what will be the occupation here? And then that would leave Gwyneth M to be right here, right? And yeah, the only thing I could consider having wrong would be the swapping the James and what's the name? Another thing, I'm like, I got another piece of evidence with them. Let's see what we can find. Do we have dates of birth? Imagine if it was that easy. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C plus J and J plus D. Was he fucking multiple LaRoes? Why do we have an extra LaRoe? And we had this here for I don't know how long. That man did not keep it in his pants. That's wild. Then who would this be? We know that this is Kim, I think. I don't know, I'm just... And these names are not gonna help me, but the fact that I feel like I've had Jane there for a while, and it's C plus J, right? So let's imagine... Okay, so Chris will be the... Okay, so basically, I'm assuming that these things mean that maybe split up means that they were married and then split up. No, they don't. I don't see the marriage thing, but I don't know. It's interesting that Chris got his dad's last name, whereas... Oh, I guess they did marry down here, so never mind. Okay. We were doing a little research. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted we spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. The four of us had some sort of cutesy family band thing going on. Not our family's our. The answer was here in front of me the whole fucking time. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. See, they're paying attention to being thorough. This is helping. This is helping. This strategy, you can't tell me I'm not on point with the strategy. Okay, so we are correct in moving her up. Okay, so what does that tell me about the ages of them? Nothing. Nothing at all. Let's go back and I'm gonna search. I'm gonna search one or two more things. Let's search this in the periodicals. Skip it or flip it. A new single from yes. Let's search it here. Die Hard Dazzler. Same thing. Okay. So, did I lose my train of thought and what I was doing? Slightly. We were trying to figure out the ages of these two. When I think the most important thing to do right now would be to lock in on this guy. Who are you? Ernie Jr., one of the notable Roottrees, right? No, Miracle Jr. But he's one of the Ernies was the president, if not both of them. Did I type the name right? Business Watch. Come on now. This guy's not known for anything? I thought he was a president. I thought one of them... Let's see. Do we have any other pictures? No, this is just the 5 pieces. Even though we kind of for most of it, we kind of sort of know who the 5 pieces are. Honestly, no, I kind of want to lock. Hold on, let me see. Is there a way I can? Let's see. I kind of don't want to working while working. Thank you. I appreciate you said. I kind of don't want to lock into one idea just yet. I kind of want to stick with Ernie. Maybe she wrote about Ernie? There was a time where she probably wrote who got the what's the name? The thing. There it is. Something about talking about the successor of the Roottrees Candy Company. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as the president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens, aka Lauren's generation, and Ernie's generation as well. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. His surname doesn't even match the candy, but he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. And we read something about somebody. We already have him locked in as the second president. I don't necessarily think that I might have this wrong, perhaps. The only reason I don't really want to move one of these is because, what's up, shit? I feel like I know that one of the Ernies was the president. I read something about Zach helping out some Ernie or just teaching them the ropes. Somebody was interested in the candy itself or something we were reading. I don't remember where that's at. But I guess we'll just keep looking. Let's start from the beginning. Let me just scan this with my eyes. I don't see any hints here, but it could just be like hints just associated by knowing what generation she is a part of. This is something that has something on it, a hint on it, apparently. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwen is an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. So I wonder if this will go away when I get her youngest brother locked in. I don't think we have his occupation locked in yet. During the summer, where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I wonder if she would be the sister. To her, I was just a lucky cousin. She's living off the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I admit seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. That's kind of crazy to think about. You know, being in that position. You have tissue over there, or is it a napkin that came with our food? Yes, perfect. I had a shawarma bowl for lunch. It was really good. When I say it was slaps, and I still got so much left. And I tried this new vitamin water flavor. Look at it. Yes. Delicious, actually. Probably, I don't know if I like this better than the dragon fruit. I don't know. But if I had to guess based on what hint I would use before finishing it, it would probably be something about the 3 younger brothers, but I don't know. Starlight, she tells about she Gilliman's a kissing Harrison Lane and Bill Williams. I don't know if I got Bill Williams locked in. She's the first Roottrees housewife. Hold on, this is probably the hint I need. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife. And this is about Gwen. So, Gwen is second generation, so I could just automatically slap this in here. Who would have thought everything in life is solved by the simplest things you would never expect, huh? That didn't solve anything, but I was hoping it would. Like, you know, that would have been like a cool little, like, you know, like an emote or something. Okay. Who is Gwen older than, though? I mean, LML was Nicole a housewife too? Oh no, that's not even the same generation. I'm just fucking around. But okay. Why did I just randomly click this evidence and it has just something to do with Ernie? I'm gonna read it just because I don't remember what I was doing beforehand either. The photo was tucked inside of an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, "To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral." And this is probably the funeral for Ernest himself, I believe. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job could be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you want to pay respects, even though it's not expected for those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It wasn't said at the time, but Ernie and I knew it could have been Carl that convinced the trust that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Until then, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. I don't think we know Ernest Jr.'s occupation. We know 1 president, 2 president, 3 president, 4 president. We don't know who took over after Carl. This says he had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl carried on after him for taking over. I guess theoretically somebody could have had it in between Carl and Brenda, but Ernie, this is probably, who is this in that photo though? Okay, no, this is Sam, right? No, this is What? Who is this lady? If we can't enter a photo for Deborah, then that may not be the mom, right? I don't know. Oh, Debbie. Oh, that is Deborah. Why can't we put a photo for her in there? Why did they even... Unless this is a photo of Nicole and somebody else. Nicole and Brenda? Can we put a photo in for Brenda? No. Is that perhaps somebody in the family? know what, if anything, generates my inner golden idol. Examine your assumptions. I need to finish that game, man. You know, you get like so obsessed with a game, and then like you get to a hard part, and you're just like, damn, fuck it. Not fuck it, but basically like kind of stopped at the end of a chapter and like kind of like stuck, because it's like you kind of learn everything together as you play it. But if you come back and you're at the end of something that you already played before, it's just tough to kind of go through it again or try to understand, especially as you, because I feel like you learn as you solve it. Okay. Alright. I guess let me just start looking at other stuff. What is this about? Let's see. Yep, we learned about it. Play. Much get played anymore. Maybe this is something else from here. And he's marked on the thing with a star. Okay. I was about to say, does he have a star? I wonder why this fish, red fish, is here. I always wondered that, but. So we probably should look back. Peter Janowicz. Alright, let's go back to this one, rolling on down to the city. So this leads us back to that same thing, talking about they grew up like brothers and a family band. We just read this, so I probably won't read it again, but maybe I will. Only thing Clark and I had in common was music. Even then, we had never agreed on what it should be. Something you hum a week later. When he called me himself, he said he liked it. It was a sign I was going in the wrong direction. That's kind of crazy. I don't mind saying this phrase, agree, but for most of the decade, he was a mess. He is a lot happier now. He started Rap for Tunes, and he's much better. Okay, so we'll look into Rap for Tunes. One of the benefits of our family is a massive company willing to be a client. That is also how my father is connected to Roottrees. His old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. That's telling me something. One of the benefits of our family. Is that telling me anything about Jim's dad or James' dad? Let's see. For most of the decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung over the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. Ad campaigns. That is a real interesting. Like, does that mean that Clark is also like, we figured out that Clark was in advertising, but does that mean that he got that from his dad? Maybe. Well, look. Let's look into Raffertoons and see if we have anything. I mostly want to see if any of them are older than each other or whatnot. Well, I guess they wouldn't be, right? I don't know. Who are you just reading about? Jim. Jim. Let's search this. One sec. Alright. So this just leads us to here, but maybe we can search this in periodicals. It won't be in here. I don't know. I probably like doing some confirmation biasing. Let's see what else I got though. What else do I have for this one? Interesting. Stephanie Jones. Do we have Stephanie Jones locked in? We do have Stephanie Jones or Landon locked in. We also have her partner Brian locked in as well. But okay. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. So maybe the campaign itself is leading to some hints. Perhaps. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional home. Blah, 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 blah. Carla normally see eye to eye. And this is her mom, who we also got right. So let's look into this Butler County Times things about Stephanie Jones. So she won an election. We found out her name was Stephanie Landon until she married Brian Jones. Grew up in a home without a father. My mother and partner essentially had a female influence. I don't want to say audience. She is a distant cousin of the Roottrees. Her mother, Carolyn, a local artist, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies. Like my mother, I'm not a fighter. I don't know what they would have wanted me to grab from that. I can also keep looking. I know it ain't nothing, but you never know. Okay. Okay, let's go back to evidence. I don't know what they want me to grab from that one in particular. And then we got this Watchman of 1936. This is the older one. Yep. He's on the cover. You recognize the global rollout of 5 pieces. Elias forms Roottrees Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. Basically, the company is not profitable at the moment. Elias has a daughter, first of 5 children. Elias invents 5 pieces, each of the 5 flavors chosen based on the initials of his 5 children. 1 per flavor per child. Okay, it was rolled out. New recipe flavor is finalized. Yep. Elias Roottrees architecture firm. I think we do have Elias Juniors. Huh. Imagine. I think maybe it's probably some clues within the clan's trust. Okay. Stretch. Okay. It's a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottree, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussion about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. Company mandates that a fixed percentage of his profits are split between every quarter amongst bank accounts, representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relative at birth, and they can't reach it until they're 18. Actual numbers have never been public, but due to ever-increasing success of the company, it is a significant amount of money. Clan's trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around, with many checks and balances still written in it. Still been a few situations where family members tried to forcibly remove another from the trust. Most details are vague since matters like that are handled internally. I don't remember what we did before, but let's highlight this. While looking through the Cran's trust, you find the 5-piece guarantee that which went into effect at the same time. Okay, let's look at this 5-piece guarantee. Elias's attempt to ensure Roottrees Candy Company will remain a family business for eternity. In isolation is somewhat baffling. A yearly salary of the Roottrees president is locked to a price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the clan's trust, however, it makes more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, and he knew that because of their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and as successful as possible. Whether this is smart or not was debated. I kind of want to look into this Roottrees versus RR. We found very few details about this particular instance in regards to the clan's trust. A student attended a lecture, wrote about it following Legal Oddity's website. From what you could tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It said that RR attempted to have 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the clan's trust, it is impossible to remove a direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust. There is no additional information online. Alright, what I want to do is take clan's trust and throw it through a lot of different things that we have. Clan's trust was mentioned many times in Business Watch. Most results are from 40s and 50s, but occasionally more recent references creep in. From context, it's clear that it allows the entire Roottrees family to earn money based on the profits of the candy company. The first article I can find is from 1943, mentions the infallible legal aspects of it were designed by Clancy Edward Roottrees to secure the future for his father's famous name. You might be able to find more details online. Okay, so let's look up this 5-piece guarantee. What? I'd be thinking I'm copying stuff, but I don't actually copy stuff. It's almost like I should just use the game system of copying instead of trying to do it in my hand. I don't really think it'll be stuff down here, but it's worth the extra thoroughness, you know. Okay, let's look at this. We need to find if they got a legal one. Imagine if they had a legal periodical. I don't know. It's like, what do I even get from that? I can't tell. This must be Angie. I don't want to say Angie was a housewife, but great. Great. She was a housewife. That's crazy. Okay. Elias. We got Margalite, we got Gwendolyn, and we got not Morgan. We got Angelica. Crazy enough, we saw 3 of these by putting housewife. Crazy. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Thank you. All the claps, all the applause. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me take a sip of water. We earned that. I feel like I earned that. Okay. Great. Now what? We got Roottrees Christina, and we have Roottrees Samantha. Where have we seen the Christina name? Oh, that's the Katrina. These people are potentially like younger. Gwyneth could also potentially go here, but we didn't have a occupation. So we have this is wrong for facts. What else do we have? Have all 3 things here. No. So now, I guess these people were important to solve even if we did know the names. Having less pictures is going to make it a lot easier. So like, for example, Jim Wilson. I actually don't know who this will be. Because we still have more evidence that we have to get, which I don't know where the fuck they want me to pull this evidence on my ass, I guess. But look at this. I actually have to find something. And it probably is something to do with this news clipping. So maybe let me just keep looking at a couple more things. I feel like a lot of this stuff, like this one, if I'm looking at this one I think has something to do with me finding who Ernie Jr. is, and whatnot. Also, I think I've also confirmed that the exchange of different names, either that or this, right? Could be wrong. But you never know. Okay. Then we got the Sam. This is probably to solve who Sam is. Let me know if you need help. My mod's wrist is broken. Not broken for real. That's crazy. But she can't mod like she. No, I'm joking. You can still mod. One sec. But yes, I think this one has something to do with Sam, but there's probably something in here that I could be missing, perhaps. No, that's not what I'm gonna do. Let's see. An entry titled Sam from Lauren's diary, written in 1963. From a previous entry, you learned that Elias Roottrees is given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing for Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I met so many distant relatives I've never met. Or I have so many distant relatives I never met. Granny had 2 sisters. And Granddad had a brother or 2. And then her grandparents, this is Lauren, so her grandparents were the OGs. Okay, I gotta remember that. I'm like, this could tell me something. Angie summoned all the Dux gens, so this is not about Angie. We just solved Angie. To a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen is in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John. We still gotta figure out who this EC person is and where they are on this thing. When he used to drive up past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Interesting. So all 3 of those people all like work on the as a farmhand, I guess. He said typing with one hand, but I mean, took a long enough time for you to type that out. Joking, he probably typed that out. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make a bike's engine faster. You know what's funny? This, in a way, this kind of hinted at Eli's job. Now that I'm rereading this paragraph, it said, when he was riding his mini bike alongside a farm a few years ago, Sam gave him some tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. So that kind of is crazy that he went into being a mechanic after the fact. Kind of silly. It's kind of around, like, full circle, right? At the end of the day, nothing explains why the outsider has cozied up into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup. Why is Granddad making an exception now? And this is where I think Sam is. Okay. And then we got the scandal one. The new diary opens up with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottrees had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a name was read out loud: Samantha Roottrees. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive any monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she would retain the rights to run the farm and any decisions related to it. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias and Patricia. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli harbored a secret romance. Her baby boy Samantha. Oh no, her baby was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she reappeared going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Elias Jr. and they finally married in their 50s. That's kind of crazy to think about. Like, your husband died, so you gonna go back to your ex? Well. They did, the parents did, was like, nah, her parents, I think, was like, no, you can't be with him. So maybe, some eventual like, Romeo Juliet story, I guess. I don't know. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover, so I guess that makes sense. He's probably just chilling there, I guess. I don't know. You older, somebody who was taken away from you, who maybe could have been that one, came back, and I guess she's just like that. It works out like that, huh? When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottrees in the first place, even though she was not part of the Clan's trust. Patsy and Eli Jr. Yes, Eli Jr. Okay, I'm thinking of Ernest Jr. Even though she was not part of the Clan's trust, he wanted to include her on family affairs. That's what led to Lauren's initial entry titled Sam. Okay, so this is about Sam. I don't know if we have enough to solve Sam at the moment. We also have another thing about Sam. This supposedly has 3 different hints on it. This might be something we might have to look up as well. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 1975 10-year anniversary of Lauren's diary. It's a companion piece to the entry about Sam. Clearly, I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottrees. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she had a chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. And I think that also proves that Sam could have been here as well, because sister figure meaning that they were roughly around a similar age group, I would imagine. Not too much older than, who Lauren would have been, or could, who Sam, wherever they could have been, what age they could have been at the time. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning day to day from Zach. It has been a long, long time since any real Roottrees was excited and interested in that candy as Ernie Jr. Okay, maybe it's like literally like next in line. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. You know what that was given? it's given that Gwyneth is older than I thought she was in the first place. And then that will put Nicole down here, perhaps. We don't know for facts, but her adopted grandfather. Confusion, to be honest. I don't know if I just fucked up. I feel like the sentence, I'm gonna reread it. This made me think that Gwyneth and Ernie were the same age. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning day to day from Zach. It has been a long, long time since any real Roottrie was excited and interested in the actual Kenny as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyn has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. That adopted grandfather part throws me off. I don't know if it's supposed to throw me off on purpose. I don't know if it wants to. But adopted grandfather would mean that she has a different grandfather. I don't know. Going on a roll with this housewife thing. I feel like that's the truth. That's the truth. Apparently. We gonna put. Actually, they're on the same line as Stephanie. They could not be students. But also, these kids are on the same line, so that don't always mean they're on the same age. We could also see if we could see years on the pictures as well. But I kind of want to just label them as students, like, you know, why not? I don't have any true reason to do that, to be honest. But, you know, if I just magically just get something right just because I did something, then maybe it's a W, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I think I'm okay with swapping Gwyneth. Because, to be honest, I think this is a good thing anyways, because of the people in this photo, right? We know that we basically have. Did we get one more person confirmed? We did get Bonnie's photo confirmed. So we learned that we have 4 people, and we only have 3 names that we don't have. So I will unhighlight Bonnie. Oh, I can't just unhighlight her. I guess it don't work like that. Okay. So now we just have. Oh wow, look at this. We have everybody confirmed except this person. Who is this? Green eyes, brown hair. Around the same age. And then who is this? Lauren and them. A little younger, maybe, perhaps. Look at these guys. Look at least these 2. These are the oldest of the 2 kids. So, she doesn't necessarily have to belong on that same line. Brown hair, green eyes. I just went off on a tangent. Let's see. Wanted Eli to stand all the way left since he looked like Pop. They insist the 4 of us stand together. I was outvoted by my brothers. We clumped in the middle. The only one too good was Gwen. Everyone else filtered in. in front of and behind us. So this was a attempt to recreate the 5 pieces photo. So this is Sam. This right here. We didn't verify everybody in this picture, so we know what Sam looks like. So when it's time to actually enter Sam in, we'll know what to do. Sam belongs here. I'm pretty sure this is Sam right here. So the cool part is we have everybody identified in this picture. But going back to here, we have 3 names, right? And 3 people, but one of those people, Jim Roottrees. Did we get any of those names confirmed? So we don't have Jim, we don't have Ernest, and then we have a younger kid, which I believe the younger kid is November. The problem is, it's just depending on who it is, but I have a feeling November is like here, to be honest, because we got Roottrees. It could also be here, but also no, because it's a picture of Ronald's kids, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much the only place that November could go. So I do think November belongs here. There's only 2 different places that they could belong as well. So that will make this person Christina, this little girl. I only have 3 names left. We know that this is November. Facts. Samantha, I believe, is right here. That's Samantha Roottrees, right? Because nobody knew she was a Roottrees. Now we just have to figure out what November's occupation is, and we might be cooking here. What other names do we have for spouses? Unknown name, unknown male, unknown female. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Edith Jacobson, Patricia Jones, Lennon, Helen, Monroe Joan, Quaterich April, and then we got Catherine Wilkins. Wilkins Motors. Yup. Look, big brain. I remember. Okay, so now, who did you marry, Miracle Jr.? Did it have anything about their spouses on here? Where is that at? Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole. Do we have? Oh. Nicole Smith. So that leaves, as far as women, which we don't know, any of these guys could be gay. We got Roottrees Samantha, which is not that won't be here. And then we got Joan and we got April. So we got Joan and April, Helen, Patricia, and Edith. That's a lot more names than I thought. But at least we just confirmed these 2 wives. These 2 people wives. Okay, let's go back and look real quick. No, it only mentioned the son's wife. Okay. We're getting there, though. Imagine the numbers just disappeared just then. Alright, well, I think there's nothing else we have to do. But look at this newspaper clipping. I feel like everything that we have is really leaning towards our knowledge of Sam, and we don't even have Sam on the thing. What's up? Not there. What is it? It's not Slater. STDERR. I forget how you... I'm sorry. I might not be the best rememberer of whatever, but what's up? How are you? It was a specific way you told me that you like your name pronounced, and I totally lost it. Totally went out the window. Saint Dur or Standard Dur. It's not Standard Error. Nice. What's up? How you doing? I appreciate you re-saying your name. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, so this is pretty much is going to take us home. I think it's going to help us get that next thing. And I think we did search Atlantis Burden, but I kind of, in a way, want to search that before we search the book. Because the book is going to be a lot of reading. We're going to come back to this, but we found some extra stuff by just simply, literally having the name here and just clicking the different things. Let's see. You found a cover about local art installations. Okay, so this is where we got the photo. There aren't much about Carolyn as a person, but this is mostly art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. She's standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden, one of many works featured in her book. It's meant to symbolize society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Interesting. So maybe part of what she spoke out against, like, you know, the family had something to do with her, like, the women not taking over the company at all. Just got home from work? Nice. Well, I know work was probably like bleh, but at least you get to relax. Little Roottrees before you get pizza. That's nice. I like pizza. Actually, before this week, I would say I ate pizza like the last 3 weeks, but this week I've been going good with no pizza. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and look into Carolyn's book. I think there's nothing else to look at. But just to recap, we got a lot of people solved. And you know what? Half of these people were solved by putting housewife in the job description. It was something I read that I was rereading the whole time, and it was something that Lauren said that somebody, Gwen specifically, was the first housewife Roottree first Roottrie housewife that was not, first Roottrie woman that was not a housewife. So therefore, everyone born, I'm assuming before, you know, Gwen with Roottrie last name, housewife. Boo. So yeah. I feel like I'm getting very close to the end. It's just about figuring out names and whatnot. Alright, I got that copied. We're gonna go look up her book. I spelled that wrong. Alright. So we use this to find Eloise and Stephanie, which we have. Do we have any of them? We have Stephanie locked in, and then we also have Eloise, Carolyn's partner, locked in. So we're good on this front. But however, I think this might have something to do with maybe her sister's children, because we definitely need more evidence. Here's the evidence that we have right now, which is actually really good evidence, but I don't think we have all of it, because we don't have any type of pictures for, like, look at the pictures that we have left for the people. We don't have enough pictures to supplement everyone here, and we know this is Sam for the most part. Oh, you know what? We can put that picture of Jane in here. There we go. So next time we solve something, it'll lock that in as well. But yes, that's what I think we're going to be looking for. Anything else? We've been just kind of like combing through the evidence, trying to be more thorough this time. Mostly black and white pictures of Carolyn's art. The centerpiece is a series full of color, nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Every time I read that, I chuckle a little bit, because I was like, why didn't they add it to my evidence? And I don't think I read it completely. I think I was just so eager to find more evidence or pictures to, like, help me solve this. So they certainly have not been added to your evidence. Imagine, bro. They probably would not, you know, of course, but they could blur it, or, like, you know, they could be like jokesies, like, you know, and have her in, like, you know, just like a outfit, like not a onesie, but like a bodysuit or something, you know, just like the whole thing blurred, but maybe the picture might be important, you know, Maybe like, you know, to up the immersion, I guess, huh? Okay. In the intro, Carolyn talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed by her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie to give up dreams to settle for boring men. This is also a clue that gave me Bonnie and Gwendolyn, putting them as housewife. I don't know who the third person was that I got, but that settling down, I'm like, what does settling down mean for real? But we know what it means, or it meant back then, right? Yes. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, which she called completely bogus. Okay, we have Wilson locked in. Their marriages led to her doubling down on her passions, art, and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. Haha, funny. She didn't marry him for real. Or she did marry, she split up with him. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees company's effect on local environment, and rules how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her... Okay, everybody but the daughter, right, behind. Okay, so what did they want me to grab from this? There's more to it or something. Did we read this? Yes, we read this, but let's keep looking. And then this one. I know she's not gonna be on these, but I don't know. You never know, right? Did she write any more books? This was written last year. Look at the time on the game. This is Also, you know what else is to note from this one? She was one of the youngest in her generation. One of the youngest, which means she wasn't necessarily the youngest, but November probably was the absolute youngest. We need some type of... Is there something that we need to grab? There's some more evidence that we need. Unless everything's here. So, like, what I'm thinking, right? I genuinely don't think that we have a photo of Ernest himself. He's Lauren's generation. Is he technically in this photo? No, we have everybody in the photo. And we're pretty sure that this is Sam. That's the other confusing part. Okay. There's definitely going to be at least one more piece of evidence. If I had to guess, definitely going to be at least one more piece of evidence. But we're getting there, though. We're getting there, though. Now, I can't figure out what these two occupations could be. Definitely not students. I mean, this picture is being taken when it... Oh, it's we know the date because of the computer. It's 1998. When was this picture of Stephanie taken? We don't know. Chris Rafferty's cousins. There's also this one. And then there's also this one. But maybe if these pictures were all taken around the same time, big brain, big brain, right? Then maybe if he's in college and she is an undergrad, right? Then she has to be an undergrad, unless she is older. I don't know. They could be older. Chris's art project. So we're gonna have to look back at that Chris Rafferty email. I don't remember what we did to find that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I just had to search a name. I didn't think he was important because he's a fucking, not a side character, but he's a fucking spouse that is not a Roottrees. Okay, well, just being curious got me a little bit of info. Dr. Stephen Wilson is a pediatrician who practiced north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results as he pops up every time. His website claims that he's the pediatrician to the stars. Only evidence is that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottrees sisters. That's kind of sus. There's a picture of him on this website, as well as the picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them... We just got the three Wilsons. What's up, Shippy? I appreciate you hanging out. Regardless of the photos have been added to your evidence, there is also a quote that, although credited to his child, Jason used to suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. So Jason is supposed to be 10 in this. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He would treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. Okay. But we also know that, who is this? Jason. That does not look world-class care. How does a 10-year-old know what world-class care means, right? So Jason could be a middle child or also the youngest. Let's just get a look at these photos as well. So we got a picture of Dr. Stephen Wilson. Okay. And then we have a photo of his 3 children, which we can probably assume who's who based on that. 1996, so that's like 2 years ago from the given date that we were playing the game. Or not now, but you know. Stephen Wilson's kid, the quote below was credited to Jason. It seemed like it was taken 2 years ago. Okay, so Jason's the youngest. And then who's the oldest, would you say? I don't want to do off height, because guys are always, you know, they're not always taller, but they could be if they were. The woman does look older than the guy, so if we are putting Jim at the top, then we could just keep it how it is. Oh, we didn't get the pictures, okay. Here we are, okay. Alright, I have a feeling we're getting close to solving at least one thing, right? He's probably a college student, right? Maybe? I don't know. Gosh. That don't mean nothing, though. We can also just search. Let's look up a little bit more about Dr. Wilson. This is our first time learning about Dr. Wilson. Let's keep going. Let's search this periodicals. I know it's not gonna be anything here, but I just feel like you never know, honestly. I'm one of those people that I would literally start putting some extra stuff in here. Well, Dr. Stephen Wilson, Stephen Punchable Face Wilson. I would say he does have an interesting face. I was going to say that. Maybe not punchable face, though. Does not practice in Butler County. He seems to operate out of Warrendale, which is somewhere between Butler County and Pittsburgh. He does still advertise occasionally in the Butler County Times, calling himself the pediatrician to the stars. Ah, that's important. Let's copy that. And then let's look him in Business Watch, just in case. Okay. Okay. This is the same thing. Was that it? How many clues are attached to that photo? None? That's weird. Okay, so this game is not always going to give me numbers, if that makes sense. He doesn't wear a hat in the photo. I'm not from the U.S., so I don't know when you get those. Ah, I understand. I wonder which one of them wrote this, and is that important? I guess I might start looking up the names. So we got Zach Wilson, Jason Wilson, and Jim Wilson. Let's see if anything else comes up. Oh, that was not how you spell Zach. And then what was that last name? Jason? Jason! Bro, I saw Heavy Rain on sale for like $1.99. Oh my gosh. Probably the daddy seems like the type to do that, right? I thought that too. My dad's the very, very best. He does world-class talent. Plot twist. Well, plot twist, they're twins. That's my first assumption. But then again, I had Stephanie as a student. I don't remember last time I had something right, so I don't want to remove stuff. That's what I'm thinking. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Really, really, really close. How many more extra names do we have? Let's see. Edith, Patricia, Helen. Uh-oh. No! That's not what I meant to do. Okay. I wanted to look at the extra stuff. I didn't mean to click something. Joanne. Okay. Okay. So... we know this, right? Picture was credited to Jason. This is recent. This is recent. 2 days ago is recent. I wonder if they got a date on this photo. Huh. Okay. And at least we know what he looks like. We got a picture of him. He does have a punchable face. He looks like a butthole, like rich guy, nice car, got somewhere to be, ties undone. Who was it? Who else do we need? This is the picture I'm looking at. Steven Wilson. Let me search his full name. The three of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Why is that funny as fuck, honestly? What if the dad took it and the dad was holding them hostage? What if he forced the son to be a pediatrician as well? Okay, let's go back to this one. Oh, fuck. I keep pushing the wrong one. That's the one thing about these high ground keyboards. If you don't... Okay. If you don't have it, like, bright, like, I got... It's just, like, hard to see. Hold on. Can I actually show you guys? Yeah. Maybe. I had Dark Magician. But, like, the keys, like, you can see, like, the lettering is underneath. So, it's, like, hard to see sometimes. So, I keep pushing V instead of B. It's, like, the darker part is, like, right over C, V, B, and N on the keyboard. So, it's kind of interesting. Am I... Dr. Steven Wilson. But what was it that actually popped up the search? Wasn't it something that we looked at on here? I thought. There's something here. There's something here. I just don't know what it is I'm supposed to be looking for. And it won't be in the Music Monthly. I thought it was the Butler County Times. I thought it was him advertising or something. There it is. Dr. Wilson. Was it a space in between? There is a space. Maybe I had more than one space. Dr. Wilson doesn't have a practice in Butler County, but actually in Whitedale. Bro, no, for real. Imagine. Okay. Really interesting. Is this a book or something? Gosh, dang it. Yo, BX with the raid? What's up? How are you doing today? Thank you guys so much for dropping in. Yo, let me get your shout out real quick. Mod is MIA. No, I'm joking. She busy. Yo, how is it going? What was you doing? Please, if you're hanging out, please go show some love to BX. Amazing streamer, 10 out of 10. Thank you so much for being here. What was the name of it? Pediatrician to the Stars. I'm trying to solve this mystery right now. Imagine. But how is it going? How's your stream? You playing Pokemon Conquest? Ooh, that's a bussin'. Pokemon, I gotta stay away from Pokemon because I get addicted. But every so often I'll get back into it and I'll play. But like, yeah, next time my Switch is charged, it's going down. But I'm not gonna lie, my Switch is dead. It's not dead like it's in broke, but you know. Dr. Wilson. There's gotta be more here to tell what the children did. And then they said that this is recent. This guy could be totally like graduated, and then this person, or these two could be college. Okay, let's say she's in college, right? Maybe he's graduated college? would he be a doctor as well? I mean, I don't think so. I think that could be a stretch, but I mean, it's worth trying to slap it down just in case. I haven't played it so long because it's like crack. Man, it really is. It really is, man. Man, I see people like when I was younger, or even like more recently, trying to get some Pokemon cards. Like, man, you can't even find no good stuff now. All my old stuff is probably worth like a lot, I imagine. Okay. My problem is what this is taken 2 years ago. Odds are bro's in college, right? We don't know for facts either. She could also be older as well. They could be grown, and this one could be the only one that's right. So far, some of that student thing has helped, but I don't think it's gonna solve all of these things. So if you're new here, we're playing a game, psychological puzzle kind of sort of things. We're solving a mystery. So we have a candy company, but we have a family who created a candy company. Here's Elias. You know, this is who started it, right? He married Gwyneth. Gwyneth had a farm. She had a maple farm. He had a candy company. Boom. They mixed the maple with the candy. Boom. Roottrees Candy Company. Get it? Maple tree, candy company. Boom. Right? They had some kids. They named these kids 5 Pieces. 5 Pieces named after the inspired the flavors of the candy. And then they had multiple generations of families. However, every person who owned or was the president of the company somehow mysteriously passed away. And so that's kind of like the story that we're kind of going through and trying to solve. We don't exactly know what's going on, or does this final name that we reveal the person who actually like caused some of this stuff, because there could be stuff going on in the background. These people could be dying just out of coincidence, or they could be dying because they own one of the most powerful companies alive, right, in this timeline. Okay. See you soon. You whispering as if I'm not talking to you on stream. Just fucking with you. But yes, that's kind of like what's been going on with the game. I'm a little bit at a standstill. I, again, feel like I have a lot of things correct. We have, when it comes to Roottrees, we have 3 Roottrees left. We have Samantha, which I believe belongs here. We have November, and we have Christina. And I'm pretty sure November is here, because this is the only kid that was in the picture of all those like teenagers / adults. I don't know if this is Christina. Who else do we have? We also have Samantha. So Samantha, we pretty much am assuming that we know. And we put this name as November. We don't know how old this person is, but they could be a baby. Is there no profession? Like, what if they're not K through 12? What are they doing? And also, what if I got somebody else's name wrong? Do I have another Roottrees that is not confirmed? So we got November, but November's not here. None of these names are Roottrees last names. None of these names are Roottrees last names, and they're all locked in. So I think we have the placement is here. Is that the baby's on that list? You know what's interesting about the initial list too? They had Eloise. Like, did they not care about Sis's last name? Yeah, all of these names. The crazy part, we're doing pretty good, I would say. This dog is gonna make me go put the gate in front of the kitchen, bro. I just hear her feet tap, tap, tapping. Penelope Tessa Green. It's kind of interesting, like, thinking that they gave us pictures, but I guess in a way it makes sense that the pictures that they gave us, like, you know, maybe the extra pictures are supposed to help. What's up, Dark Erebus? How are you? Conquer Bronx Raid. That's what's up. We're meeting Brother Trouble. I remember. I thought this was weird as fuck. Basically, what I'm talking about right now. What's up, T? How are you? What's going on? Basically, right, this guy, you know, let me tell you his backstory, right? He grew up, mom, she kind of just got the Roottrees last name just because, you know, her dad was like, fuck a Cornwall. I'm gonna settle with this famous family company. Last 15 minutes of work, that's what's up. That is lit. And then basically she kind of like, he died. Well, no, did he die? No, she split up with Walter, Wild Bill, and basically kind of raised these two kids alone. So he wrote a screenplay about, you know, his mom as another person, right? About somebody struggling, a single mother struggling with two boys, right? The mother who played the mother in this series, he ended up marrying. How? That's crazy work, ain't that not? Literally. But yeah, she was a comedian in this thing, and then she did this Brother Troubles thing. And I thought that was real interesting, kind of like the craziest of them all. And I thought Chris fucking multiple sisters was crazy. I was like, oh, he just couldn't keep it in his pants, huh? So that might not be the only thing. That might not be the only thing. All right. Was that all about Penelope Tessa Green? There was more here. But I feel like it's probably more about Ron. I gotta look up Ronald Roottrees. And then that would be this one, right? No, it would be movies. Hell no. Okay, so yeah, it is. And it only came up as Ron, right? Or our productions. But y'all gonna see right now. On set board. It's been a while. Hope you're well. What's up, Mike? How are you? I appreciate you being here. It means a lot. Let's go ahead and search this in the periodicals. There we go. Okay. Did we read this? Robbie, he was convicted? I feel like we read this, but we might have glanced over this, perhaps. I appreciate that, Mike. It means a lot. So he embezzled from his own company to fuel his gambling habit, and then he fled to Paris where he grew up, and then allegedly assaulted an officer. Interesting. That's crazy. So that being said, oh, is that it, basically? They ain't famous enough to get... I guess he is a screenwriter, right? But what about his brother? Ronald is who we were kind of looking into at the moment. Yes, last little 15 minutes of work be like the quickest little 15 minutes ever. Look at that. Now it's less than 10 minutes until you get off. Would it just be Ron? There it is. Don't blame nepotism. He gets results. That's kind of crazy. Yes, but I think it's wild in the grand scheme of things. Interesting. So this doesn't necessarily talk about the product. This doesn't necessarily talk about the product or anything about this man. Okay. Still. We know Samantha. And then we have November. What names do we have? Okay, so all of the names, this is all we have. This is all we have left on the list. I know it seems like a lot, but all the names with the faces on them are names that we have somewhere in use in the family tree. Oh no! God damn it. And then what do we just remove? We remove somebody's partner? Fuck. Oh, Jean. Bean Jean or something. Deborah Bean. Yes. I don't know. I said Bean Jean. Okay. But yes, we don't have that many names left over. As far as people who we don't pretty much have confirmed, we have, let's see, nobody at the top. 3 women, 5 women, 6 women. So we have 6 women supposedly, all not named. That doesn't necessarily mean that we solve all the guys, apparently, you know, of course. How do we steal? Oh! What did Chris do? Did he take up advertising as well? No. Right? He did music or something. Raffer Tunes. I think that was here. So no. I think if we solve Chris, we could solve a lot of things. So when was the picture taken? I am unsure. I'm gonna look though. In a second. There's an email somewhere about Chris Rafferty. How do we not have this guy's occupation? Chris Rafferty. So Chris has no children, and in fact wasn't even in that family photo. Did Clark even raise Chris? Low key? So we have this photo real quick. Of a college student. Okay. Alright, and then the picture being taken, I believe, It's one of these. One of these. Not this one. This one has a date on it, though. This is actually real clutch. Joke-a-lantern, 1997. That was last year. So what, baby? No, for real though. No shit. No shit. Hold on. Baby is an occupation? No. I'm pissed off because are you telling me I could have slapped baby down there and had this person right this whole time? Man, fuck out of here. Baby ain't no occupation. I guess you're right? Ain't no student. If they're not a student, they're not in kindergarten, they're a baby or a toddler. I almost just is like, dumb, of course. Oh, man. Yes, baby is indeed on the list. Alright, and now that I got that right, actually, it's helping. It's very helpful. So whoever I got right now is wrong. So you're wrong. You're probably graduated by now. This is middle school, and this probably isn't taken that early. You know, granted. And then you're wrong as well. Okay, so I just had to take off of these and see. Oh, there's another picture of Miracle somewhere in here. Miracle Jr. Oh, is this? Oh, I don't know why we didn't have that picture there. Interesting, we never had that picture there. Okay. Yes. So, Madsen Ernest was a guy, so he passed over Madsen. Gwyneth Madsen, that last name got absorbed by Sam, and so that would potentially put Sam here. Unless Gwyneth was older than Ernest, but we also don't exactly know that. But looking at both of them, I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Sometimes I kind of, could assume. I'm assuming your message was deleted because there was an answer in there. Maybe, perhaps. I'm not sure. I don't know who's older than who's. But I also know I got 4 of them wrong. Oh, and also, I probably could have swapped her too. If she's K through 12, then she low-key could be college. Like, look, she can't be that much older than her, right? I want to look back at the picture. So now we got the baby solved. That's kind of cool. So we go back at that picture right here. And this is mom and dad. And she kind of, sort of got the height. You know, she kind of getting there. Maybe she's like a thing. So maybe it's probably wrong anyway. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. We're getting there. Really. Okay, so we got 8 more. So we got 2 more to get right as well. So who do we have? We don't have a name here. So now that we just got a couple more people, the name got shorter. We got Samantha Roottrees. We already know where she belongs. Because her dad's a Roottrees, so she's going to be on that top right. Jones, Jacobson. We have a Jones somewhere. But I don't think that's relevant, too, because Stephanie never had a child or anything like that. Jacobson, that's new. Lennon, that's Landon. That's a different name. Monroe Quadrich. This is crazy. I'm almost done. I'm literally almost done. And that's insane to hear. I think I'm gonna end here. I had a really good time today. I'm what's today? Thursday. Factually, should be able to go live Saturday morning. So I'll probably see you Saturday. If I don't see you guys Saturday, I'll see you guys Sunday. Hopefully we can do it. But like, I feel like we truly, for the most part, if we had this right, we probably would have solved the last 3 Roottrees. And then there's factually, right? We could almost assume that we can't. You know what? The occupation could have been right. The picture could have been wrong. Because again, oh no, the picture's right. Never mind then. This locked in for James. Okay, never mind then. So the occupation is wrong. So it's probably this Ernest that was the president. Perhaps. And then that would make sense that Deborah wrote that letter, because when they talked about the kids, Ernest passed away, and then Ernest Jr. was taken into the thing. So, like I said, what could have been right is 3rd and 4th. But yeah, nevertheless, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully not Friday, Saturday. I actually work Friday, but we'll see you probably Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, have a good day and peace.